okay? So I feel that this is something that's coming through for you. So I'm just going to start with your reading. It feels to me like the main message that is coming through here is about reevaluating your values, okay? Reevaluating your values. So I feel almost like a lot of you made decisions, right? Because of what was socially acceptable, what was socially um, imposed upon you. So I feel like there might have been pressure from family. There might have been, societal expectations. There might have been like things that you believed in and you realize, oh, this is the way to go. Or when I'm 30, I'm going to do this. When I'm 40, I'm supposed to do this. So there's a lot of societal expectations, like the weight of it bearing on you. And I feel a lot of you made a decision to conform. And you realize now in hindsight that it probably wasn't the right way to go. Okay. And I feel for you that for some of you, you're just like, I was too young. I didn't understand the whole story. And so now that you have accumulated more years, you realize you should have waited on that decision. You realize that you might not have known the whole story, that you shouldn't have been impulsive. And the weird thing is, you guys are not impulsive people at all. At all. And so I feel that the social expectation was what really did it for you. Okay, family expectations, friends' expectations, just the weight of it. And you made a decision that might have been, rash, that might not have been appropriate for you. It might have been, for all intent and purposes, appropriate for everybody else in your periphery. But it wasn't the right time for you to make this decision. And so, on the heels of that, I feel that for some of you, you might realize that your choices, are limited, okay, as a result of it. Your choices, your options are limited. And for others of you, I feel that, you might feel geographically you are restricted. You're not able to come and go as you'd like. You're not able to do everything that you want. So I feel that there's this weight here of having to present yourself in a socially acceptable manner and not being able to really live out, your quirks, your eccentricities, and be the person that you want to be. So the weight of this is trumping this. So it basically means pretty much that, you're going to have to curb the way you behave as a result of these social rules, norms, structures that are in place that feels a little bit oppressive, okay? I honestly feel that some of you, when they mention, reevaluating your values, I feel that in the past, finances and, financial stability and accumulating wealth meant everything to you. Meant everything in the world. And I feel that, you've made very, very directed decisions in order to accumulate a lot of wealth for yourself. And then I feel coming through for the past, especially this year, you might realize that these things are not bringing you that satisfaction. And you might realize as well that, what am I living my life for? And whether you're still happy. So I feel like there's this internal conflict that's playing out in your life right now, where you are reassessing what's really making you happy. And so you might realize as well that it's not the money, it's not the financial stability, it's not all the glitzy, glittery, high society, functions. It's not like the money in your bank account. Those things are nice. But they're not real because they're not allowing you to live your life in an authentic way. And so I feel here there has been a major growth spurt for a lot of you where you are starting to, I guess like take stock, and you're starting to come out of your shell. You're starting to present, yourself in a true way. And I feel that you're emerging from it smartly, like in a very smart manner. You're not trying to, upset the status quo, but I feel that you're not going to take things lying down. Okay. So you're doing things, you're gradually taking the steps to, reorient yourself, to do what makes you happy and to, I guess, also overturn what is not socially, acceptable, and to figure out why, whether or not that's applicable in your life, and whether or not, it's still worth following. So I feel like you are emerging from your shell. I see this hermit crab like coming out of their shell, and it's the right thing to do. It's the right thing to do. It's the right thing to, um, to start emerging from this. Okay, so I feel that overall things will be okay. The last thing that I'm feeling here is, it seems to me as if emotionally you are growing, and I feel like they mention emotionally, but I feel like it's more spiritually. Like I associate the cups energy with emotions, but also spirituality. And based on these two cards, I feel almost as if some prayers have been answered very recently, something that you really wanted, something that you really, really, you prayed and prayed for. Okay. And I feel that now that it's been granted for you, you really do believe in God again. You really believe in the divine. You really believe in, this invisible hand that's moving things. So you do believe in universal, energy. And because of it, I feel that the actions that you're going to take moving forward, it's going to be a lot bolder, a lot more vocal, and a lot more directed with this source energy, so that you can communicate in a way that is a lot more authentically true to you, so that you can come out from behind, the weight of this societal expectations, family expectations, and begin to give yourself a voice. And you're going to do it in a very well planned out, methodical. It's slow, but there's going to be a lot of progress. Okay, slow manner. I feel that you're going to be handsomely, in getting very positive reception when you do that. And whatever life has thrown at you, Taurus, whatever you've experienced, it's preparing you for this moment in time, and it's preparing you, for this remainder of the year. You're exactly where you need to be. And so don't fear it, okay? Emerge from your shell and be the person, be the leader. Start learning those leadership capabilities, qualities that you're meant to be. Because I feel that the world is going to need your, I guess, like your sense of direction. The world is going to need that, okay? You're meant to be a leader. Okay, so this is not a good month overall. I don't feel it's a good time for you to make major bets, or especially to bet more than you can afford. Okay, so especially for those of you who are poker players, just be very careful of that energy, because I feel like there is a situation here where you feel like invincible, and you feel like people might tell you, no, let's cut your losses and try to get out of there. But I feel that you're being a little bit too adamant about, no, I'm going to win big. So just be careful about that. Don't bet more than you're willing to lose. Okay. So the full house message comes across as in physically living in a full house, and then as it deals with people who might be trying to go to casinos, or if you're experimenting for the first time, or if you are habitual gambler, just be a little bit on the conservative side for this the next 2 weeks. Okay. What I do sense as well here, we do have a little bit of strife coming through in the housing environment. It seems to me to be very minor, but it feels almost as if somebody is like not taking care of their practical responsibilities. Things are piling up. It feels to me like dishes, and it feels to me like, especially for those of you who have pets, for example, you might have a roommate that has pets, and things are just piling on gradually, responsibilities that the roommate or the person you're living with should have been taken care of. I feel like there's some, a little bit of frustration coming through from that end. Okay. So here's the thing. The bottom line is, we want to make the best of a situation. So I feel like talking these things out early on would be important for you. And I feel like this is something that has been happening since last month. And I feel that now, like it's been, it's kind of like been on the back of your mind since April. But I feel like for whatever reason, it was swept under the rug. It wasn't addressed properly. And so be careful about, tempers flaring when it comes to roommates, when it comes to people you're living with, when it comes to people in your family, okay? So I feel like responsibilities piling up, somebody's not taking care of what they're supposed to. I feel for many of you, there are short trips taken. So I feel like a lot of coastal areas, a lot of, I'm seeing like environments where there are a lot of water. So water, bridges, barges, ferries as well. And I'm also seeing like visiting like some stone structures. So it could be like a university, for example, that's built in a very almost like in a very olden times, or even like museums or places that have been like that have historical significance that have been built for a while. So I do feel that there are going to be some news, especially for those of you living in areas that are um, like in the floodplains, for example. There might be news about that, and it's the it's the springtime right now in the northern hemisphere when I'm recording this. So I feel like, especially in the southern hemisphere, and especially in low lying areas where it's very prone to floods and the water table just getting out of control. So I feel like there's going to be some news about that as well. I would advise overall, be very, very careful with family, just give them the benefit of the doubt. And honestly, I feel like whatever needs to be addressed, like back in April, now's the time to do it. Okay, just like be the first to approach the topic, because I feel like the people you're dealing with, they get a little bit defensive, and then one thing leads to another, and they feel very accused. They feel like you might be nitpicking at them and things like that. So just be careful about that. Work looks very, very stable, looks really, really good. And I feel like there's a lot of huge spike in income that's coming through for you guys. Maybe that's why, you're able to save up for these trips. So I feel like work overall, there's a lot of things that need to be taken care of. I don't see like a super busy energy, but I feel like I feel like there's like, if you're working on a client basis, if you're working on commission even, there's a lot of demand for you, okay, and for your services. And it feels to me like the phone's ringing all the time. So a lot of people are actually contacting you, and I feel like you are also reaching out to other people as you go through your travels. Okay, so I feel like a lot of you taking short trips, like weekend trips, going to a place of water, doing a lot of sightseeing. And I see like they're saying like tan skin, so I feel like you might be getting darker towards the end of this month.